Hey everyone, and welcome to the Kilobits. My name is Francesca, and this week I wanted to talk to you guys about the evolution of exclusives. Now, back when I was a kid, the main consoles, well, it was Sega, and then it was PlayStation 1 and N64. Now, back then, there were very clear divides between the consoles in terms of what games you had. Nintendo had Smash Bros, they had GoldenEye, they had Banjo-Kazooie, they had Mario games. Meanwhile, PlayStation was there with games like Tenchu, they had Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, and then there was the Sega with games like Golden Axe, Sonic, Echo, but very, very clear, good quality exclusives between the consoles. And it got to the point where the console that you chose in some ways depended on what the games that you wanted, a lot more than it does today. Meanwhile, at least for me, the PC was not much of a gaming console. I mean, we had stuff like Ski Free and whatnot, but for me, I did most of my homework on it more than I played games on it. Whereas my PlayStation 1 was super exciting and fun, and I couldn't wait to go to the video store and rent games. Now, moving forward to today, we've had this whole digital revolution, everything is kind of fast forwarding, and gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Now, for the most part, PlayStation and Xbox don't really have an awful lot of exclusives. I mean, there's some. PlayStation has stuff like Gran Turismo and Little Big Planet, Xbox got Halo, Sunset Overdrive, those kind of games, but for the most part, there's not that many exclusives that you can get solely on console, and PC is much, much more of a contender, especially for indie games. PCs tend to get indie games months in advance of consoles, and also eventually get the AAA titles that initially launch on console. Now, part of the reason I think there's no longer this very clear-cut exclusive divide is because there's much higher demand for games, and also because it's difficult to get third-party publishers to agree to exclusivity. I mean, we have the new Street Fighter V game being announced as a PlayStation and PC exclusive, so it's not technically exclusive. We've got Xbox has Tomb Raider as a timed exclusive, timed. Like I say, the third-party developers aren't really keen to lock down their games to a single console. And as a result, I think that Xbox and PlayStation are now trying to focus on getting more indie exclusives. But again, it's a case of indie developers not necessarily wanting to lock down. I mean, in the case of Super Meat Boy, they did end up saying that they wouldn't release on PlayStation because PlayStation weren't that interested at the time. However, for example, Playdead's new game, Inside, Playdead having made Limbo, that game will be a timed exclusive on Xbox. And I think it's very difficult for the console market to have exclusive games beyond first-party content. Now, this is where Nintendo is still kind of back where it was with the N64, in that Nintendo has loads of exclusives, like heaps of them. They've got Bayonetta, they had Hyrule Warriors recently, Legend of Zelda, everything Mario, Smash Bros. Like, in terms of consoles, the Wii U is probably the one with the most exclusives, but it has to be because third-party developers don't develop really for the Wii U. I mean, Ubisoft announced that they were going to stop doing that, and as a result, Nintendo have to push good first-party games in order for their console to be competitive. And that's what I would say the evolution of exclusivity has become. Back in the day, everything had its own exclusives, and you picked very much what you wanted based on the exclusives that you want. But now, beyond the Wii U, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, it all kind of blurs together beyond a couple other games. And really, I would say now you're not losing out much by owning one but not the other. And I think the focus for everyone beyond Nintendo has shifted away from exclusivity and onto maybe picking up some good indies, improving hardware, having more peripherals, updating smart glass, and doing neat things with the console, rather than trying to have the best games roster that nobody else has. But let me know what you guys think about exclusives. Are you in PlayStation camp? Are you in Xbox camp? Do you love Nintendo? Do you hate exclusives? Do you not really care? Are you PC gaming master race? Let me know in the comments below. If you've liked this video, if you could hit that little thumbs up button, like, I'll love you forever. As always, I've been Francesca. We have a Facebook at facebook.com/thekilobits and a Twitter at thekilobits. And I'll see you guys next week with the last episode of the year. More about that next week. Bye!